I'm going to go through the first of the Ovid passages that we read together, which is the one about Cadmus and his wife. And this is one of the best ways that you can prepare for the Ovid translation, is not just practicing doing translation, but also practicing going back over passages that you've already read. So using the screencast, going back over the passage, and not just reading through it again, but really checking that you completely understand the vocabulary and the grammar and how the meaning fits together. Because that way you can see and remember how Ovid uses these words, not just what the words mean, or not just the rules about indirect statement or something like that, but actually remember how these things look in context. So I would say, rather than skim reading through lots and lots of passages, it would be a better use of time to take fewer passages and get to know them really well. Right? Keep rereading them until you can actually read a passage like this almost as if it was in your own native language, because you've got to know it really well. So with that in mind, we'll have a look at this passage, and it starts with Nuda manu feriens, exclamat pectora conjuncts. Now, exclamat is the main verb here, and it's third person singular. So we can ask, is there a singular nominative noun to be the subject? And there is, and it's conjuncts. So, his wife. And so there's the subject, conjuncts, and there's the main verb, exclamat. And we also have here a present participle, feriens, which is nominative and singular. And so that's going to be agreeing with conjuncts. So feriens, as I say, that's going to be agreeing, and it's from the verb ferio, ferire, which means to hit. So the wife, or his wife, hitting or striking, and then the object is going to be the other noun, pectora. It can't be manu because that's ablative, so it's going to be pectora, striking her breasts with her hand, manu. And then, of course, we have nuda here. Now, nuda could be agreeing with conjuncts or with pectora. So it could be feminine nominative singular, or it could be accusative plural. Probably in this case, it's going to be agreeing with pectora, because in the ancient world, that was quite a common sign of grief, was to bare the breasts and to strike them, to hit them. That was a common way in which women mourned or grieved in the ancient world. So the whole line gives us his wife striking, feriens, her naked breasts, nuda pectora, with her hand, manu, cries out, exclamat, and what she cries out is cadme, vocative case, cadme, quid hoc. So quid means what, and hoc means this. So you have to really imagine or supply the word est. So what is this? And then she says, ubi pace, where is your foot? So again, you have to, I suppose, imagine the word est there. Where is your foot? Ubi sunt umeri, where are your umeri, your shoulders, and your manus, and your hands. So manus, because this is a fourth declension noun, that's actually the nominative plural. Where are your hands? And your color, and your colour. So where's your normal colour? And your facies, your appearance. And dum loquor, so dum means while, and loquor means I speak. So, and while I speak, omnia. In other words, where is your everything? Your whole body seems to be missing. And then she asks, kur, which means why. And here, kailestes is in the vocative case. So it means, O gods, O heavenly ones. So kailum is the sky or heaven, and kailestes are the heavenly ones, the ones in the sky, the gods. So and the commas around it are a clue that this is a vocative form. So why gods? And then the main verb is vertitis, and this is second person plural. So why do you non vertitis? Why do you not turn or change me also, me quoque, me also, in plus accusative into eandem anguem? Now, eandem means the same, from idem, eadem, idem, and an anguis is a snake. So literally, she's asking, why don't you turn me into the same snake? But we might translate this as the same kind of snake, something like that. And then dixerat, pluperfect tense, she had spoken. And then the word ille here signals a change of subject. Right? This is masculine nominative singular. So he is now the subject. He, and the main verb is lambebat. He was licking. And the object is ora, which means the face. Technically it's plural, but faces would be a bit odd here. I think we'll say the face suae conjugis, of his wife. So suae conjugis are going together, genitive singular. He was licking the face of his wife. And, that's que, he was going, ibat, that's the imperfect tense of eo ire, to go. He was going into, in plus accusative, her sinus caros, which in this case means her dear, that's caros, and then breasts for sinus. Now sinus, or sinus in Latin, is a difficult word, really, because it has quite a few different meanings. So in Latin, sinus can mean bosom, breast. It can also mean a curve or a fold, or it can mean a bay. So the basic meaning is the shape, and then that shape means that sinus can refer to lots of things with that similar shape, sort of bosoms, bays, curves, folds, things like that. So he was going in sinus caros, veluti, which is just the same as velut, as if, cognosceret, as if he knew them, as if they were familiar to him. This is imperfect subjunctive because of the word as if, right? The word as if gives the verb a slightly unreal sense, right? As if he knew them. And that leaves open the question, did he really know them, right? Because in Latin, if you want to say because he knew them, that makes it certain that he did, so you use indicative. If you want to say as if he knew them, that leaves the question open, right? We're not sure whether he knew them or not, so that's why we have subjunctive there. And ille is still the subject. He dabat amplexus. He gave embraces, hugs, and que, he sought petebat. That's the imperfect tense from peto petere, to seek, to look for. He looked for the neck, colla. Again, this is plural, but we would translate it as singular, the neck. And the neck is described with the word adsueta. Now, this is actually a PPP from the verb adsuesco, which is to get used to something. So a literal translation would be the having been gotten used to neck. But that's not very good English, so we would say the neck that he had gotten used to, or the neck to which he was accustomed, something like that. So remember, when you see a PPP, the literal translation is always having been something. And then we have a new subject, which is quisquis, that means whoever. So whoever ad est is present, third person singular of ad sum, whoever is present is terrified, terretur. That's the present passive of terreo, to terrify. So whoever is present is terrified. Or you could say anyone who is present, or everyone who is present is terrified. And then the brackets explain who is being referred to. Aderant komites. Companions were present. So aderant imperfect tense, third person plural of adsum. And then at illa. So at means but and illa means she. Again, you have this pronoun ille, in this case the feminine illa, signaling a change of subject. So but she, and then the main verb, third person singular, is per mulket. Not a very common verb, but this means strokes. So she strokes and the object is kolla, the neck, which is described as lubrica, which is an adjective. Also not that common, but it means smooth. So she strokes the smooth neck. And then we have genitive, Christati draconis. So draconis means of the snake. And Christati is an adjective agreeing with draconis that means crested or with a crest. Again, not a common adjective, but there it is. She strokes the smooth neck of the crested snake. Et subito. Remember, subito means suddenly. And suddenly, duo sunt, they are two. Or you could say, there are two of them, something like that. And, quer, they serpunt. Okay, that means they crawl. The verb is obviously related to the word serpent. They crawl. And now here we have an ablative absolute. So remember, when you have an ablative noun or pronoun and an ablative participle, you're often looking at an ablative absolute. So literally, and we literally translate ablative absolutes as with something having been something. So with the volumine having been juncto. Okay, and volumine means a coil, right? So with their coil, I suppose, something like that, with their coil, right? And then juncto is a PPP from jungo jungere, which means to join together. So with their coil having been entwined. So the idea is something like they crawl with their coils entwined, something like that. And you could, even though volumina is singular, you could translate it as plural here, since there are two of them. So they crawl with their coils entwined. Donek, until. That's quite a common word that's worth remembering. Donek, until. They have entered subiere. Now, subiere is one of these third-person plural perfects. In prose, it would be sub ierunt. So ierunt means they went. So it's the perfect of eo ire. So subierunt means they went. And sub literally means under, but sub ire often means to enter. So they entered. So remember that subiere, this is the poetic form for subierunt. They entered, until they have entered, into, in plus accusative, because there's no ablative here that it could go with, into the, and our accusative is latebras. And latebras are hiding places. A latebra is somewhere you hide. So into the hiding places of, and then apositi nemoris are genitive. So into the hiding places of a grove, nemoris, and the adjective apositi, agreeing with it, means nearby. So into the hiding places of a nearby wood